A number of years ago, the Dalai Lama was here for a Mind Life conference, a gathering of scientists and researchers, teachers, and the like that were all. This is really when the beginning of affirming some of the benefits of meditation was really taking root. And at one point, he was interviewed by Network News because his latest book on happiness had come out, and the question they asked him was, well, what was the happiest moment of your life? And he thought for a little while, and he has a mischievous look he gives, and he said, I think now. And to me it was perfect, because really the gift of meditation is to be able to really be right here in the one place, the one moment, where we can truly experience happiness and love and creativity, where we can truly see the nature of reality. So the challenge is that most of the time we have this really deep conditioning to not be here, to be on our way somewhere else. It's often in the form of lost in thought. We're thinking that generally the most important moment of our life is either ahead or has already happened, but it's rare that we think this moment really matters. This is it. Right here, this moment. So it's really an interesting inquiry. What is it that takes us away so regularly from presence? And if we begin to check through the day and saying, okay, what's going on here? We'll find that much of the time we're in a trance of thinking. We're kind of living in a virtual reality. We're not awake in our senses right here. And that in that virtual reality, there's an undercurrent of I want something or I'm fearing something. Okay, there's wants and fears. There's a sense something's missing, something's not quite right. And that drives the thinking. And if we really check closely, we'll find that right at the core of our thinking trance is some assumption that what's wrong is ourself, that we're not right, that something's wrong with me. The practice of meditation, our coming into presence, is described as having two wings. And the two wings are, one of the wings is mindfulness, so that you actually see what's happening in the present moment, non-judging presence. And the other wing you might think of as heartfulness, where whatever is seen is held with tenderness, with compassion. So it's seeing what's here and regarding it with tenderness. You can think of it as two questions. If you ask yourself, what is happening right now? It's like that attention that notices what's going on inside you right now. What is happening? And then the other wing is, and can I be with this? Can I regard this with kindness? So these are the two wings that we cultivate to be able to wake up out of that trance of unworthiness, to wake up out of the spacesuit self and sense that the gold that's shining through, these two wings. Let's pause right now. I'd just like to give you a chance to check inside for a few moments. Take a bit of time just to settle, to connect with your senses, to feel your breath. We'll just do a very short and simple exploration of these two wings. I'd like to invite you to come up with a current situation in your life that brings up difficult emotions. Not something that is traumatic, but something that brings up anxiety or anger, hurt, where you react in a way perhaps that you wish you wouldn't. And let yourself go right to the part of that situation. Bring to mind, visualize it and see it and move through it to right where you go into reactivity. And sense what emotions are coming up in you. Like for this man, it was a clutch of anxiety in his chest. And take some moments to sense when you typically react, when you start to manage things by either lashing out or turning on yourself, withdrawing, whatever you do, just sense how that feels. And you might even mentally use the word no. Managing is a way of saying no to what's happening right now. No, I don't like this. No, I want you to be different. I want to be different. Just notice what happens when you're saying no, when you're trying to manage things, trying to take control, resisting. So you're get connected and aware of what the feeling of no is like when you're reacting in a tight way from your spacesuit self. Sense how it is in your body, your heart. And then take a few full breaths. We call this a state interrupter. Just kind of breathe and feel your body right here fully. But let the same situation be in your awareness. In fact, again, let yourself remember the triggering, what gets you going, and what the worst part about this is. See if you can feel in your body where it lives. But this time, just name and say yes. Okay, fear, yes, let it be. Anger, yes, just let it be. Hurt, yes, let it be. So you're really giving permission to your body and your heart to feel what it feels. You're not saying yes to about the other person's behavior. Yes is a way of allowing and letting be the life inside you. Let it be as it is. It's very brave, very permissive, very allowing. Yes. In fact, no matter what's happening inside you right now, pleasantness or unpleasantness, tired, numb, dull, anxious, see what happens when you say yes, when you just give it permission to be as it is. And you might sense in the days and weeks to come when this situation arises that it's possible for you to pause and awaken the two wings. that you can pause and really ask what's happening and name your experience inside you. And you can say yes to the experience and give it more space. And notice perhaps there's more openness, more flexibility, that you're more at home in yourself when you haven't managed and gone into the old behavior.